Forbes India and Indeed present Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2025.
I think being recognized among the top 30 talent leaders is both an honor and a responsibility. For me, it really reflects the work of so many people, leaders, teams, employees, who share a commitment to building a culture where people can really thrive. This recognition, in a way, affirms that talent leadership today is not just about talent acquisition or HR operations, but it is about shaping the capabilities, mindsets, and environments that determine whether a business can adapt and grow. And it reinforces the belief that when you put people at the center of business strategy, the entire organization moves forward with clarity, resilience, and purpose. I think I'm most proud of the moments where transformative talent decisions created meaningful change for employees and for the business. Whether it was redesigning an entire talent ecosystem, developing leaders who are ready for future roles, or helping teams navigate uncertainty, it is these inflection points which really shaped my philosophy as a leader. For example, at Datamatics Business Solutions, our leadership development program, Ignite 1.0 and 2.0, running for about 11 and 8 years respectively, are programs which have really helped create a talent pipeline over the years. So really what matters to me is not the programs or framework themselves, but the human outcomes where people really, they grow, they become leaders who are more self-aware, teams that are more aligned, and therefore the organization can become a lot more inclusive and future ready. I think the biggest lesson is that talent leadership is fundamentally about leading with purpose and being compassionate. I think for me, that has truly been the biggest lesson, because while technical expertise matters, but the real differentiator is the ability to stay curious, adapt quickly, make a whole lot of decisions with empathy and compassion. And I think the other thing is also the power of simplifying complexity. Because sometimes in a world filled with frameworks and noise, I think to really succeed, once you're able to distill what truly matters and act on it decisively, I think that's the determining factor. So I think the role has essentially evolved from being more operational and policy driven to, being more like a strategic partner to the business. And earlier, the focus was largely on how one can drive process excellence through hiring, performance systems, and all the engagement initiatives. Over a period of time, I think talent leadership is deeply intertwined with business strategy, org design, the whole culture piece, employee experience, and capability building. So I think that's where it is how the whole the journey has evolved. I think to know that you really found the right talent is when there is alignment on all three dimensions, on the capability, the character, and culture. And right talent is someone who not only has the technical capability, but also has the curiosity, resilience, and values that fit the direction of the organization. So the key to finding it is also being crystal clear about what great really looks like. So not just in terms of skills, but in terms of behavior and potential. So I think, best talent leaders stay, in a way, I feel they stay close to the business, understand the evolving changes, and build diverse pipelines that don't just fit the immediate roles, but roles where they will end up elevating the organization. So I think we've all seen AI evolving at breakneck speed, and I think the biggest challenge will be the rapid transformation with human sustainability. While we're entering the period which is so much shaped by how AI is going to be embraced within the organizational context, with the evolving workforce models, I think talent leaders will really need to build organizations that are able to transform at speed while ensuring at the same time that people don't burn out. They're still able to find purpose with what they are doing. They are feeling engaged, and most importantly, they having that psychological safety to express themselves, to share their ideas. And I think that is really going to ensure that talent leaders will need to lead with empathy, compassion, clarity in a whole lot of things, and most importantly, staying agile in this ever-changing phase of work. So, if I weren't really in talent leadership, I'd probably most likely be an executive coach or probably a teacher. I think these are two roles where I feel that I'm really able to be. I find that as a huge adrenaline rush, and I think there's nothing more fulfilling than seeing people grow with confidence, take on higher responsibilities, and most importantly, realize their potential. There's nothing which is as fulfilling as that. I think over the years, I've come across several heroes, several leaders who have really been leading with a lot of courage, a lot of authenticity. And this is irrespective of levels, right? So many a times, I think people who are able to make tough decisions at the same time while staying grounded in empathy. And I think that for me has really been. Okay, can I just rephrase this answer?
Yes, sure.
Sorry. I would say that I think the biggest hero in my life has been my mom, and she's somebody who has been the perfect role model of being kind and compassionate at all times. And I think I'm yet to come across a more compassionate person than her. And it is those values which she's imbibed in me, which has really stayed with me through my entire journey in the HR field. And I think that's something which has really been a sort of a life-changing experience for me because of what I've seen of the way she's been, and I think I carry a lot of that within me. So I once worked with a very quiet, introverted team member who I figured out during one of the events that we were having is that she was an exceptional singer and a poet outside of work. So in fact, that was such a beautiful reminder, that people bring so much more to themselves at the workplace than what really appears on a resume. And I think it is these moments which really which creates an inclusive culture, which creates space for people to really, shine through their hidden talents. And I think that for me, this is just one of the examples. I think over the years I've come across so many of them. I think it's definitely been in terms of having a mindset of continuous learning and reflection. I make sure that I find time to read, to take up courses, do certification programs every once in 2 years or so. And I think constantly asking oneself, what is it that I can do better? That reflection at the end of the day. What did I do today? Could I have handled something better? Has been a point of really, a lot of insights for myself in terms of, okay, on a particular day, I could probably come back saying, I could have handled this better. And that becomes a learning for the future. So continuous learning and reflection has definitely been one habit which has helped me maintain. And that's something I've done throughout my career. I think talent leadership is eventually about people and not processes. So I think as leaders, we all need to design systems that are fair, inclusive, scalable, but most importantly, lead with compassion and authenticity. And I think this is really going to be a single most pivotal factor to really determine that the organizations were able to see people not as resources, but as people with aspirations, challenges, and immense potential are the organizations which will really make a difference in the future landscape. So I think that's something all of us as talent leaders need to bear in mind.
Forbes India and Indeed present Top 30 Talent Leaders of 2025.